National Education Policy 2020, Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India.
3. Curtailing dropout rates and ensuring universal access to education at all levels. 3.1. One of the primary goals of the schooling system must be to ensure that children are enrolled in and are attending school. Through initiatives such as the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, now the Samagra Shiksha, and the Right to Education Act, India has made remarkable strides in recent years in attaining near universal enrollment in elementary education. However, the data for later grades indicates some serious issues in retaining children in the schooling system. The GER for grades 6 to 8 was 90.9%, while for grades 9 to 10 and 11 to 12 it was only 79.3% and 56.5% respectively, indicating that a significant proportion of enrolled students drop out after grade 5 and especially after grade 8. As per the 75th round household survey by NSSO in 2017-18, the number of out-of-school children in the age group of 6 to 17 years is 3.22 crore. It will be a top priority to bring these children back into the educational fold as early as possible and to prevent further students from dropping out, with a goal to achieve 100% gross enrollment ratio in preschool to secondary level by 2030. A concerted national effort will be made to ensure universal access and afford opportunity to all children of the country to obtain quality holistic education, including vocational education, from preschool to grade 12. 3.2. There are 2 overall initiatives that will be undertaken to bring children who have dropped out back to school and to prevent further children from dropping out. The first is to provide effective and sufficient infrastructure so that all students have access to safe and engaging school education at all levels, from pre-primary school to grade 12. Besides providing regular trained teachers at each stage, special care shall be taken to ensure that no school remains deficient on infrastructure support. The credibility of government schools shall be re-established, and this will be attained by upgrading and enlarging the schools that already exist, building additional quality schools in areas where they do not exist, and providing safe and practical conveyances and/or hostels, especially for the girl children, so that all children have the opportunity to attend a quality school and learn at the appropriate level. Alternative and innovative education centers will be put in place in cooperation with civil society to ensure that children of migrant laborers and other children who are dropping out of school due to various circumstances are brought back into mainstream education. 3.3. The second is to achieve universal participation in school by carefully tracking students as well as their learning levels in order to ensure that they are enrolled in and attending school, and b. have suitable opportunities to catch up and re-enter school in case they have fallen behind or dropped out, for providing equitable and quality education from the foundational stage through grade 12 to all children up to the age of 18. Suitable facilitating systems shall be put in place. Counselors are well-trained social workers connected to schools, school complexes, and teachers will continuously work with students and their parents and will travel through and engage with communities to ensure that all school-age children are attending and learning in school. Trained and qualified social workers from civil society organizations, departments of social justice and empowerment, and government functionaries dealing with empowerment of persons with disabilities at the state and district level could be connected to schools through various innovative mechanisms adopted by state UT governments to help in carrying out this important work. 3.4. Once infrastructure and participation are in place, ensuring quality will be the key in retention of students, so they, particularly girls and students from other socio-economically disadvantaged groups, do not lose interest in attending school. This will require a system of incentives for deploying teachers with knowledge of the local language to areas with high dropout rates as well as overhauling the curriculum to make it more engaging and useful. 3.5. To facilitate learning for all students with special emphasis on socio-economically disadvantaged groups (SEDGs), the scope of school education will be broadened to facilitate multiple pathways to learning involving both formal and non-formal education modes. Open and Distance Learning (ODL) programs offered by the National Institute of Open Schooling (NIOS) and state open schools will be expanded and strengthened for meeting the learning needs of young people in India who are not able to attend a physical school. NIOS and state open schools will offer the following programs in addition to the present programs A, B, and C levels that are equivalent to grades 3, 5, and 8 of the formal school system, secondary education programs that are equivalent to grades 10 and 12, vocational education courses programs, and adult literacy and life enrichment programs. States will be encouraged to develop these offerings in regional languages by establishing new, strengthening existing state institutes of open schooling. SIOS 3.6. To make it easier for both governments as well as non-governmental philanthropic organizations to build schools, to encourage local variations on account of culture, geography, and demographics, and to allow alternative models of education, the requirements for schools will be made less restrictive. The focus will be to have less emphasis on input and greater emphasis on output potential concerning desired learning outcomes. Regulations on inputs will be limited to certain areas as enumerated in Chapter 8. Other models for schools will also be piloted, such as public philanthropic partnerships. 3.7. Efforts will be made to involve community and alumni in volunteer efforts for enhancing learning by providing at schools one-on-one tutoring, the teaching of literacy and holding of extra help sessions, teaching, support and guidance for educators, career guidance and mentoring to students, etc. In this regard, the support of active and healthy senior citizens, school alumni and local community members will be suitably garnered. Databases of literate volunteers, retired scientists, government, semi-government employees, alumni, and educators will be created for this purpose.